What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome to another Resplendent review, and this time I'll be taking a look at female Robin and I'll be going over the builds that you can run on her, and at the end I'll also have a special segment with a re-refined theory craft. Before I begin, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, King Arthur Legends Rise. It's a squad RPG game made by Kabam, who are makers of Disney Mirrorverse, Marvel Contest of Champions and many more. King Arthur Legends Rise features many epic Arthurian quests, mythical weapons, and also supports seamless cross-platform gameplay between your phone and your PC. You'll be progressing through the treacherous world of many Arthurian-inspired legends, and you'll be able to recruit a wide variety of heroes like mages, knights, rogues, and many more with their own unique backstory. It does feature strategic turn-based combat with many medieval weapons and relics which you can use to make your legends even stronger. If you want to discover the hype of the game yourself, make sure to click the link in my description, wishlist on Steam, and pre-register today so that you can stay up to date and also get a ton of launch rewards which will head start your adventure. You can also participate in the open beta starting on 29th June 2023. And with that said, let's get back to the video. Resplendent female Robin is a Gen 1 green infantry mage with Tactical Gale as her preferred weapon. She's a Grail unit, and she's the second Grail unit after Aversa to get a Resplendent version, which is definitely really exciting. I'm really waiting for a Lloyd Resplendent at this point. So Tactical Gale was a weapon refine that she got back in 2018, and honestly it has really not aged well like most of the refines from back in those days. So Tactical Gale does have the Raven Tome effect where she's able to have the weapon strangle advantage against the colorless foes, and then her weapon refinery has got a spectrum tactic built in, so she can buff up +4 to all stats of the allies within 2 spaces as long as the tactic condition is being fulfilled, which is that there should not be more than 2 of the same movement type on your team, and only then she's going to be able to give the tactic buff to all of the allies. Now, there are definitely a lot better ways of buffing up your allies, and they're just much better buff bots. And after a while, we also got Faye with her weapon refine, where the condition was a lot more lenient and she could easily buff up the allies. So this weapon refine didn't really age all that well, and being a buff bot is not necessarily the greatest niche. So unfortunately, she's going to be waiting for an Arcane Green Tome, and whenever that comes out, I'll definitely be showcasing a build featuring her in that Arcane Green Tome video. And speaking for her stats, she does have stat spread, which is really weird with like 4 super pains, which is just an overkill. And after the Resplendent stat, she's able to have 31 attack and 31 speed, which is definitely not very good, but at high investment, she can be worked out if she's like your favorite unit. And that's pretty much the reason why people will build her up, because Robin is a very popular character, and at least she's got this Resplendent version with top tier art. So whenever we get an Arcane Green Tome, and if it works out for her, then she can definitely function well with that, especially because she has got more HP and bulk than most of the mages because of being a Gen 1 unit and because of how these stats were allocated at that time. So she can actually be bulky, and if that Arcane Green Tome has got some kind of damage reduction or some kind of defensive effect, then that would definitely help Robin quite a lot. But until then, you'll definitely have to stick with some other weapons that we have available. And we definitely have a couple of options here, which we have been given in the limited ephemera manuals, and that is also available to us from the Divine Codes. So if you're going to be building her up, trying to make use of her weapon for something like Arena Assault or limited hero battles, then you can just run her with Triangle Adept, because you can just double down on the weapon strangle advantage that she gets against the blue opponents and the colorless opponents. So it's pretty much a combo that's as old as time. So that can work out with this kind of Raven Tome, and you can get Lelotide resistance from young Ileana in the Divine Codes. So that could also be a pretty good slot B skill that you can run, and you can just run Drive, Attack, or any kind of other slot C skill to support your allies along with Tactical Gale and its buffs. But it's highly recommended to remove Tactical Gale and replace it with a better weapon, because it doesn't give her any kind of stats or any kind of good effects in the combat. So Plate Torch is a weapon that has been given us for free in the limited ephemera manuals at start of this year in January. So if you did collect that Plate Torch, then you can definitely give Robin Plate Torch until we get some kind of good Arcane Green Tome. And if you have Arthur with Grand Vulture, then that can also work out, as it is pretty much the same weapon. So she can run this with Attack Resistance Menace, which we also have access to through Fallen Male Morgan's limited ephemera manual. So it is perfect for this kind of combo with Plate Torch, and that can help her nuke a lot harder and also be a lot more bulky. and attack speed ideal and null follow-up are available through divine codes, so this is pretty much a build that you can make up by using the limited ephemera manuals and also the manuals in the divine codes. But if you're going to be investing even more into her, then Special Spiral 4 is going to be a really good skill because it can pierce through the damage reduction and it can definitely help her do even more damage because of the true damage it provides her with and the true damage that she also gets from the finish skill. So because Robin doesn't really have the highest attack, she does appreciate the true damage in form of finish kill and Special Spiral 4, and because of Plagian Torch being a Plagian weapon, it can actually stack up with the foe penalty doubler effect from Panic Smoke 4. So that is something you can definitely do for a high investment Robin, and just try and run her with allies like Duo Mark, Aversa or Yune so that you can make the most out of the foe penalty doubler effect and also Plagian Torch. And attack speed finish 4 is going to be having good synergy with Special Spiral 4, and this is a build that is still going to be helping you whenever Arcane Green Tome comes out, because it is probably going to be having minus on special cooldown like all of the other arcane weapons, so she can just run Bonfire with Special Spiral at that point and still function well with this kind of build. When it comes to highly invested female Robin builds, this build is definitely going to be up there because it uses Snow Glow Plus, which is a really rare weapon from a seasonal unit in Arthur, and also uses magical null follow-up, which we just got on Aether. So she can try and make use of Snow Globe Plus, which does have attack and resistance unity built in, and stack it up with attack speed unity in the slot A, and then just run Legendary Male Robin and stack up a lot of stats through the grand strategy. So that is going to be a way of making her really fast, and magical null follow-up is going to be allowing you to just cut through the damage reduction by half and still providing her the null follow-up effect. So for a build like this where she doesn't really want to run Special Spiral 4 and does not want to lose on the null follow-up effect and the speed debuff, you can run magical null follow-up and also run attack speed Oath 4 so that you can get even more offensive stats and be quite offensive as you can be with the grand strategy and the unity stacking. And then finally, if you do want to use her in arena, then you'll pretty much have to use her preferred weapon, because arcane weapons don't really score like the legendary weapons. So if Robin is one of your favorite units and you want to use her in arena, then G-Dual Infantry 4 is going to be the way to make her high scoring. And then by using 300 SP passives in slot B and slot C, so magical null follow-up is pretty much going to be the best slot B skill for arena usage, as she can get fast enough to bypass many of the follow-up negation effects of these slower enemies and even stop their follow-up attacks, and the damage reduction cutting is definitely going to be really helpful in arena. But still keep in mind that this is a Gen 1 unit, so her performance is not going to be too insane despite having all of these kinds of new skills like magical null follow-up and attack speed Oath 4, as ultimately she's stuck with Tactical Gale, which can actually be helpful in arena in buffing up your allies at start of the turn without really using any kind of rally skills. So it can help you if you do have that kind of team and if female Robin is one of your favorite units. We have got a menace like Legendary Male Robin with his grand strategy, and his stat spread is not really all that far away from female Robin and the way it is allocated. So having a good refine could definitely help female Robin, and this is my theory craft if I had to give her a re-refine or improve her weapon refine. So for the Tactical Gale, I would still keep the Raven Tome effect and keep her weapon strangle advantage against the colorless units, and then I would give her a condition where if she initiates combat or if she's within 2 spaces of an ally, she's able to get +4 to all of her stats and also gets a guaranteed follow-up attack. And I would just make it a lot more lenient and much better for her buff bot role so that she can buff up the allies within 2 spaces for +6 to all of these stats, and also giving them the orders buff along with giving that buff and the status to herself as well. So this really goes well with her tactician role because she's literally giving the orders buff to her allies and herself, and this is going to be opening up the teleportation shenanigans, which can definitely synergize well with a lot of the skills, and also makes her a much better buff bot because now she doesn't really have the restriction of the tactic skill or the Tactical Gale's tactic condition. So she's going to be able to function much better as a buff bot, and then I would give her another round of +4 to all of her stats and also give her a bonus doubler. So with the kind of stat spread that she has got, she's basically going to be a big stat ball, which kind of goes well with a lot of the Grail refines that we have got, but at least she's going to be unique enough, and this weapon is a lot better than what she has got going with the Tactical Gale as of this moment. So giving the orders buff and the +6 buffs is going to be amazing, and with the bonus doubler and the self-sufficient buffs, she's definitely going to be able to be a pretty bulky mage with the stat spread that she has got. So let me know in the comments what do you think about my theory craft regarding her weapon refine. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like and a comment, helps me a lot. And for more FEH videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. because YouTube sub boxes make you wait about as much as the green arcane tome. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.